This episode is a blend of sports, social issues, and education, providing a thought-provoking dialogue. Listen as we discuss the NFL careers of Shedeur and Shiloh Sanders, touching on the challenges and the biases they face and the Manning family legacy. The conversation takes a deeper turn as they examine the issues of racial bias and opportunities in the NFL, paralleling it with past events involving Colin Kaepernick. Switching gears, the hosts explore the recent controversy in tennis involving Taylor Townsend and her opponent's post-match comments. They discuss the emotional toll on athletes and the pressures they face in high-stake games. Furthermore, we explore the impact of tariffs on inflation and the broader implications for the economy. Finally, the episode takes a deeper look at Tom's journey as a substitute PE teacher and his efforts to engage students in activities like tennis and swimming. Join the insightful and diverse conversation in this thought-provoking episode. What's going on, Keith Pickens?
What's going on, TC? What's going on, Mike?
Hey, TC. Hey, Keith. Squabble up, squabble up, squabble up.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry,
Oh, my.
TC. I jumped the gun on that one. I should have let you say hello, Mike.
I say that. I've been waiting on.
Oh, my goodness. What are we doing here?
Having fun, apparently.
Barbershop talk. There we go.
Did you guys see that? I don't know if this is the internet, but apparently Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and Stephen Colbert have started a new media company.
Correct.
I don't know any of the particulars, but
I don't
did
either.
see the headlines.
That's what I saw. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know who's financing it. I don't know who's backing it. I don't know what platform. I just saw that, and I just wasn't sure if you guys have seen that.
That's a powerful trio. I'm sure they're getting backing from somewhere. They got a lot to say.
I totally agree. And Rachel Maddow, she's a bulldog.
She's all about it. She just says what she means and means what she says without apologies. That's all.
Yeah. Sports world. The Sanders brothers. Shedeur is now third string. Is that correct? He went from being fourth, and now he's third string behind Joe Flacco on the Cleveland Browns.
I believe he is third string.
I haven't seen any of his performances. I just seen highlights. Have you guys seen him in action?
I watched him with the Buffaloes.
Yeah, I saw Buffaloes
watch
too.
Pretty regularly with the Buffaloes, but yeah, I'm like you. I just saw highlights. I read some of and listened to some of the hype, and apparently that first outing he did really well, and then he got hurt the second time around, before the second opportunity.
Right.
And I'm not sure if they're just judging him on that one time out in training, of course, in practice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think what they're looking at is the experience factor in terms of having the second string in front of him. Is Flacco in front of him?
Flacco's a starter.
Who's in front of
I
him?
the guy's name.
We can find out.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to it. It's really hard to assess it from the standpoint of how he was drafted, whether or not there's some mess in the game, or is he just really a rookie who has to learn his way and earn his way. The Sanders name, where you would think it would be helpful, like the Manning name, it's more of it seems like a curse than a blessing.
It's funny you say that, Keith, because actually it seemed like that within the social media realm. The Mannings are royalty and the Sanders are entitled.
Yeah, they always flip the script, though.
Yeah.
That's American culture. It's unfortunately totally ingrained in our culture. And real or imagined, that's just the way it is. The young guy, Arch Manning, I saw a little bit of his first game, and he looked fresh, just like Shedeur looks fresh. They're both starting at something new. But he's got the pedigree. His dad was a quarterback. His uncle was a quarterback. His uncle's quarterbacks. And Deion obviously was a great ball player and a baseball and football player, but he just didn't get the same love. He's obviously a lot more flashy than the Manning family. It's just the culture embraces those who don't look necessarily like us, if I'm keeping it real. But skills are going to bear out at the end of the day. They're both going to have to show up because nobody's going to be accepting of a quarterback who can't get the job done. I don't know and don't think that they could necessarily blacklist this kid. And when I say this kid, adore if he has the skills to pull it off. But they're not going to make it easy for him, that's for sure.
I'll just put it this way. Like you said, Keith, if they have the skills, both of the sons, If they have the skills, that's going to shine through. You can't deny skill. But now, are they going to get the opportunity to show those skills?
Right.
It's not just do you have the skills, you're going to get the opportunity. And yeah, does stuff go on in the NFL? It always has. It's nothing
Yes.
new. And from what I heard in the media, at least one of the guys from ESPN or Fox Sports saying, yeah, they did collude
Yeah.
to not draft
No, Shedeur.
Shedeur. Okay, not draft him, really, in other words, put him in his place. We're not going to. Does he have the skills? I didn't see enough of him to say that he does. If he does have the skills, they will shine through. He'll get his opportunity.
Conventional wisdom suggests that he does have the skill.
Okay,
Tom
okay.
Brady, who's allegedly the GOAT, most people would say it, is his mentor, although the team that he has a stake in didn't draft Shedeur. The football players, the professional football players, and some that wear yellow jackets suggest that he should be able to succeed in the NFL.
Okay.
But then again, you have to see him in action. You have to see him
Right.
on the
Right.
field. The game does speed up. We know that. But to your point, there has to be an opportunity. When you said collude, that really made me think about Colin Kaepernick. It had to come up. It had to come up, Tom. How a talent
Yep.
like that could be totally ignored. And so when
Yeah.
what do you say? Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles would have been able to see that one coming. When you let a talent like that go, that suggests that everybody colluded. And as much as it hurts me to admit it, that includes the Detroit Lions. The ownership said hands off, whether or not it was the commissioner who directed the owners. But in this case, I don't know how that walks. You got a lot of black GMs. I don't think you have any black. Well, I know Venus and Serena has a stake in the Miami Dolphins, or they used to.
Right.
But you don't have any real primary owners that are African American or of another ethnicity. But I don't know how you line that up legally. It is strange. We do know that Arch Manning, at some point, even though he's just starting his college career, will probably have a cakewalk based on his merit. Obviously, whether or not he show up, because if he's no good, it's not going to matter.
Right.
But if he's
right.
good, he won't have the same issue that Shedeur had. That's for
Right.
sure.
And so
It's
just
always
let me-
about race.
Yeah. So let me just go ahead and insert fast. The starter is Joe Flacco, and the rookies are Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And they traded Kenny Pickett to Vegas. They released Tyler Huntley.
Correct.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
The whole Shiloh incident, it was an automatic ejection.
I think the rules are different. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that Shiloh should have automatically made any team because, to my understanding, he wasn't drafted. But just because of the Sanders name, the rules were a little tougher on him. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. Sitting here in the barbershop, I think he had a lot more to prove, and the rope was not as long. He got into some type of altercation with the other team, and that was enough for them to say, you know what, we're not going to put up with this. You got to go. Did he have the same makeup and skill set as his brother Shedeur? No, he wasn't being touted nearly the same.
Right. Players are not anyway, though.
Yeah. At the position he played, you have some strong safeties and corners. It's not a sexy position, so you're not going to talk about them as much. But in terms of being able to rank them and determine whether or not they're a fit for your team, yeah, I think that if his skill set was such, you would have had a lot of people probably trying to pick him up. He had a mountain to climb anyway. He could ill afford to make any mistakes, especially because of his name, especially because he was not drafted. So he's a Sanders. The chain or the rope was short. He made a mistake, and they got rid of him. I don't know if he's been picked up since, but the team that he was trying out for let him go.
But now here's something I saw, was probably within the last 2 days or so. He actually took a swing on a guy, and that was what it was.
Yeah,
They-
Buffalo Bill player.
Buffalo Bill player.
Was this during a game? The
Yeah.
preseason game.
Yeah.
Preseason.
So the play was over with, and they were going back shoving each other for 10 yards. And he was probably just taking advantage of a rookie. And for whatever reason, he drew back and tried to swing at the guy, hit the helmet or missed him or whatever.
See, yeah. Okay.
So that whole thing is not tolerated. No
Right,
matter-
not from
anybody.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the essence of what happened for Shiloh. So now, at the same time, you're trying to cut down the roster.
That made it easy.
That made it easy. That made it
That
easy
made
to
it
cut down the roster. So
Yeah,
now,
you don't need hotheads.
Michael Irvin has a theory that says okay, you cut him now early, you bring him back for the practice squad, and then if you need, you bring him up. So there's opportunity for him to go somewhere potentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and while you were looking, I was peeking in, and his attitude is that if I can't make it in the NFL, and I'm not going to sweat it either way, there's always, he said, modeling for him, a career in music and other. So he's not hanging his hat on
Right.
football.
Yeah.
So, that, and I don't know if that points to a lack of absolute passion. And when I say passion, do whatever you can at any cost to get to that point.
Right.
Or it's just the fact that he's been a part of a football family is something that he enjoys. Maybe he doesn't love it as much as his dad and his brother. An opportunity, it didn't pan out, and he's saying, you know what, if I get picked up by somebody, good, great. If I don't, there's other things I can do.
And then with the Sanders name, the doors will open.
It will open. He'll
The
be fine.
doors will open. Over to the lightweight sport, tennis.
The lightweight, how dare you? Mike, talk to this guy. Mike, explain to him what this
Right.
sport is all about. This
Right.
is a great
Man.
sport.
I tore up my shoulder playing tennis, man. Tore my back that playing tennis.
Yeah.
Ain't no lightweight.
Hey, I commit to a few hours a week and sometimes a day, depending on who I'm watching, enjoying tennis on TV. It's a great
Right.
sport. I wouldn't call it light, especially when you see the purses, when you see the money that from one tournament to the next. They get paid
Yeah.
pretty hefty.
Mike, what's your take on the whole controversy, Taylor Townsend and her opponent making the comment of, you're not educated, you have no class.
Okay. Tennis players, when they lose, especially at that level, when they lose, they go into a whole nother, they'll say anything. Look at what's her name said a few weeks ago. She lost and she talked about, wasn't it Coco? Golf? Or
What's
I
that
can't
called?
really, when tennis, my point is, players at that level lose, able to say anything, especially at a press conference right after a match, really don't have enough time to decompress.
They're
you know,
emotional.
They call her racist
Taylor didn't either.
because Taylor would know more. Ladies know each other. They know who's not. So I would not call her racist. What she said was unfortunate, but here's the deal. Taylor handled it with class.
Yes, she did.
Absolutely.
Yes, she
Oh
did.
my goodness, was
Yeah.
it class?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that squashed the whole thing.
Right.
She handled it with such both
Mhm.
on the court and at the okay. Nobody can say anything. It is what it is, and Taylor
Yeah.
handled it very well.
Yeah.
And truth be told, I guess I forgot the title they called it, number one tennis mom or something, because she got the ladies doubles tennis title. They were number one, her and her partner. And then she's doing so well. I hated to see her lose.
Yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
a great story.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody was really cheering for her.
Right.
And she was up because she won the first set.
Yeah,
right.
she did.
And she
And that tiebreaker, she had a break.
Yeah.
And I tell you what,
doing very well.
yes,
you
she
know,
was.
with class, and
Yeah.
she showed the world she's going to keep on moving on and going to get more positive endorsements, lack of a better word, more positive endorsements out of that than anything. Handle that.
Absolutely.
See what happens.
Yeah.
That's it.
I totally agree with you, Mike. I was very impressed. And I had never heard her name before. And
She's been around. Yeah.
She has.
It's about time she got some recognition. And then
She's a
right
good-
when she's moving up.
She's a good
this
player.
happens.
He is a
Yeah.
good player.
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
her. I watched the match. It's like
Yeah.
I was like, they were going at it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, they were going at it. And she just did, round four, she was going at it, her and her opponent. You know,
Absolutely.
and, I don't know. You start making observations. So I don't know if she played the night before, late. You have that match the next day like that, and then they're
Yeah.
playing hard like that. Not they were.
That light.
They typically get one day in between sets, though. She wouldn't have necessarily played the next day. But just the stress of the whole situation, all of the interviews she had to do that probably took away from her opportunity to practice. She's a mother, too. She's a mom.
Right.
So she's a tennis mom. So that means she had to take off time to have a child and still come back. And so even with that extra kudos to her, my take on it is, to Mike's point, I think a lot of times when you have foreign players, and a lot of times those players are bilingual or trilingual or Lord knows how many languages they speak. And she tried to defend herself by saying that it wasn't her intention to come across as a racist so much as she was using it in tennis terms, in terms of the etiquette of tennis.
Yes.
Because the ball just skimmed the net and fell on the other side. And it's an actual play. It's not anything that they're taking points off or they don't call it back. And then a lot of times, just from habit's sake, a player, because they don't intend to do that, obviously, if they could do it every time, they'll throw their hand up or something. But it's not required. You don't get points taken away if you don't root. It's just tennis etiquette. She decided not to do that. She was in the middle of the match. She persisted with the match.
There you go.
She won the match. And so the opponent took offense to that from a petty standpoint because she was mad more so than anything about losing.
Correct.
What it looked more like she was a sore loser than a racist.
Right. 1 point didn't decide that.
No. So I think that all of the controversy surrounding that, there was interviews here, there, and then more eyes on that match, which was more pressure. Not that she hadn't played on big stages before, but I think she did all that she could, given the circumstances. She played 3 sets, and I think the last one was 6-4 or 6-5. I can't remember. She didn't just bow down. It wasn't 6-0, 6-1, 6-2. She played that match. And Taylor Townsend is a name that I'm familiar with, and I know now more people are familiar with, and that going forward, even more. Although I have to give a shout out to Coco. Coco, hang in there. You'll get her next time. Naomi got you. Naomi's on the come up, so don't bow your head, Coco.
Yeah, the comeback story for her.
Naomi, she's a 2-time U.S. Open champion. Naomi is.
Yes.
Golf has not won the U.S. Open yet. She's done well, but Naomi won it twice, so she knew what to do.
All right, Mike, you've got this theory. Is it a theory, or you want to just talk about tariffs and inflation?
Yes. Tariffs and inflation. Here we go. All right. Tariffs will fuel inflation. Now, the federal court ruled 7-4 that the decision to impose taxes, including tariffs, rests exclusively with Congress. So they said the current tariffs and levies imposed on 60 countries will remain in effect until October 14th. Unless the Supreme Court steps in. And of course, the chief felon of the United States went right to the Supreme Court and said, he wants an emergency injunction. It was very clear that the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act did not apply in this case. That's not an emergency. So that's why the court rejected that claim. But the court's decision does not affect levies on sector-specific goods like copper, aluminum, steel. Those were brought under a different authority. If the federal court ruling goes into effect, then we're going to be back to 16% of the goods entering the United States subject to the tariffs, which is currently 69% of goods entering the United States. And I'm not sure if that 69% includes the latest imposition on packages under $800. That's affecting everyone in the United States.
Right.
So your question, is it fueling inflation? Yes, because basic rule of business, all business costs are put on to the consumer. That's how you right. It's spread out over the consumer. You do business absorbing every cost. And the chief felon knows that. And so for him to impose those tariffs, he knew what he was doing. He knew who was going to ultimately, because the companies are required to collect those tariffs before they ship to the United States. So when they ship it, they have to ship the tariff with it. The money has to come to the account with it. I'm having a problem now getting music because most of my music comes from Europe, the vinyl.
Right.
And I can't get it because they're not going to ship to the United States. It's not that the tariff is too much. They're just not going to ship. They're not going to do business with this guy. Real quick, you saw what happened with the 20 countries, including Russia, China, and India. They just had that summit. Okay, first, let me back up a bit. And this is clearly barbershop talk. But Putin told his butt, I'm not stopping nothing. You can talk. That travesty, that waste of time in Alaska was something else.
And money.
Putin had no intention of negotiating with this dude. He said, I'm not stopping nothing. Your bullying act doesn't bother me. Do whatever it is you want to do. But here's what we're going to do. After we finish this meeting, we're going to cancel all this other stuff. We're going to go out here and have this press conference, and we're going to act like we friends.
Mm-hmm.
When he got out there, what did Putin tell him? He said, the next time in Moscow, perhaps, because I'm not coming back to you. Make no mistake about what that was. We going to meet again. You coming to me. Then he turns around and has this economic summit with India and China.
Yes.
And 17 or 20 other countries, whatever it was, they're going to freeze out the United States. We
North
not
Korea.
the big dogs no more. They don't care about y'all. You can bully all. We're just going to freeze you out. We're not going to do business with you. You get what you get when you get it, if you get it. If you want to spur your domestic production, go right ahead. Do whatever it is you think you can do. But we are going to go ahead with our money not going to stop because of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what that was. For lack of a better word, he got B-slapped.
Oh, wow.
That's what that was. They got together and said, look, we don't care about you or anything that you do. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And so what did he turn around and do? Oh, that's very unfair. You should be doing more business with us. No, they already told you no. Go bully the world into doing business with you on your terms. They don't have to do business with you.
They don't.
They can do business with other people.
They
and
can.
that's what they decided to do.
Yep.
Right. Do tariffs fuel inflation? Yes. And we about to really see it because your shelves going to be empty. India not going to ship nothing here. He's going to impose more tariffs on India because they're buying oil from Russia. Wow.
Yeah.
So you trying to tell other people who they can and can't buy stuff from.
Yeah,
Out your mind.
we don't have a relationship with Pakistan and India,
No,
man.
no. Yes, it's going to fuel it. What am I going to do? I'm not buying nothing unless I absolutely have to. And even a friend of mine, I was talking with her today. She was in a dollar store the other day and talking to the guy. And the guy told her, anything that you want, buy 2 or 3 of them right now.
Wow.
Come back here. It's not going to be here.
It's not
Right.
reasonable.
Dollar stores are going to become $10 stores.
They $5 stores right now.
Yeah, it's $5 stores. There is no way. There's no way that the American public can absorb those costs. What he's doing is he's going to make sure that he gets paid on everything coming into this country, down to the packages under $800. If you order something off Amazon, Shein, any of them, he going to get his cut. You get it? He going to get cut. He going to end a 100-year-old
Hey, look,
exemption on that stuff. Wow.
just by example, if nothing else, he's slowing it down. I ordered as an aside, I ordered an extra needle for my turntable.
All right.
And the first time I ordered it, it came probably in a couple weeks. Initially, I ordered a couple weeks ago. They said it would be here early September. Got something the other day saying it would be here in early October.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
I wouldn't
Wow.
be surprised if they push it out. Now, I don't know if it's coming from another country or if I don't know what's going on. I didn't check that deep. These are the types of things that happen as a result of the game that he's playing because he thinks he's the biggest dog on the porch, and he's not. And it's at some point, I'm hoping we'll all wake up from this nightmare because even given the decision by the court, Mike, that type of thing becomes incidental when he can go back to the Supreme Court, which we know is heavily right-weighted with the Trump appointees. And essentially, they have not really given into us, when I say us, the American people, as opposed to doing what Trump wants them to do. The court is not what the court was. I don't care what anybody says. When he made his appointments, he was stacking the deck. And so I'm hopeful that they'll come back and they'll take a look at the decisions made by the federal court and say, you know what, you guys are right. But somehow or another, they find a loophole to be able to say, he's the president. He has the right to do whatever he wants. Let him do it. Because I'm stuck on the fact, and I can't get off the fact until this change, that a president can do anything he or she wants to do. It hasn't been any she yet, obviously. But anything he wants to do without regard for the law.
The court right now is 6 Republicans and 3 Democrats.
3, I believe it is.
Yeah,
it's real heavy.
6-3.
I believe it's 6 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And occasionally they get Roberts to make a reasonable.
Roberts is the one who decided that the president has the right to do whatever he wants to do above the law. So
But-
when he did that, he didn't have to do too much anything else, Tom.
Right. If it's unconstitutional.
That's it.
And I don't need a judge to tell me what's constitutional and what is not.
But
Because
who's
I can
upholding
read
it?
for myself. Right.
Who's-
Read for myself.
Yeah.
All of us can. I'm sick of having my intelligence insulted by these
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I can read the Constitution and understand very well. All of us can. And if they're not going to follow the Constitution, why should we follow it? Why should anybody follow any law if you're not going to follow the Constitution?
What happens with that, Mike, is it sounds good, it's logical, and I agree. But the muscle is where the muscle is at. I just saw something that says that they're going to send troops into, I want to say, Chicago and
Correct.
Baltimore. I think California
Correct.
pushed back.
Correct.
But when he starts doing, that's the muscle. That's the intimidation. You can decide not to pay taxes if you want to. Then they'll start putting a lien on your house. Then they'll start snatching your house. Then they'll start doing whatever they can to make you really uncomfortable.
Right.
All right. Now,
And that's a fair fact.
Assuming that the United States is still the United States.
Yeah.
Once it breaks up, ain't no more IRS.
Yeah.
Once these governors stand up and say, you know what?
Then it's up to the
I'm
states.
not doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Because, this is the federal government only exists because the states allowed it. At any time, the governors can call a constitutional convention and abolish the federal government. That can happen. It's in the Constitution. And that is why we have a Constitution. So what is going on now would not happen. So if people stop paying taxes, it's not going to do it. If everybody stopped paying taxes, that still wouldn't stop fascism and autocracy. It's only one way to root that out. We did it in World War II, and we're going to have to do it again. I'm going to leave it at that. Look, you'll see, there is no way that there's going to be any elections next year. It's just not going to happen.
I hope you're wrong, Michael Miller.
Look, you don't build a ballroom for hundreds of millions. Is he trying to build this ballroom? No, leaving.
Yeah, that's what somebody said. That's what some comedian said.
No. He's not planning on leaving.
Yeah.
Did they put an extra layer of fencing around the White House?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's off the chain.
Everything this government is doing right now is strategic. And the direction it's going in is not a direction that we're accustomed to.
Right.
One of the things they should have put into the Constitution, which they didn't, maybe afterwards they can do something like this. If you swear an oath to uphold the Constitution and you don't uphold the Constitution, it should be an impeachable offense. That includes the president. That includes any Congress people who decide to deviate from the Constitution. That's the whole basis of where we are today. That's the whole point of us having this union, because we're supposed to go by the guidelines of the Constitution. Now, if you want to amend the Constitution, there's a way to do that.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
you cannot have a Supreme Court that, in effect, and this is just something that really rankles me, that can come and say that the president is above the law. The Constitution indicates that the president can't be above the law. So how can the court come back and say that the president is above the law? So there's something going on. Tom, you turned me on to that book, man, and ever since I read that book, the wheels have been spinning, because if it happened in fiction, it could happen in real life. There's people on the perimeter who are not the president. They're thinking this stuff through.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make it happen. He's a puppet, more or less, because he's not that intelligent.
Thank you.
Right.
His strings are being worked.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Thank
so
you.
we have to be aware of what's going on. They're lining it up. Every time I hear, I almost hate to listen to the news, but that's by design. He don't want us to listen to the news. He wants us to be ignorant.
Being reported is
Every move is geared towards fascism. So and he's moving fast, because we're only in this month 9, so 8 months in total.
You're right. Yeah.
And he's
That's
done
what
all
I'm
of this
saying.
in little or no time. He's got 3 more years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus.
What about this? He's moved to, I think it's the state of Missouri. He's asked that governor to redistrict, to offset. It's doing to offset
correct.
what Texas is doing right. It's what we're going to have. Redistricting states to offset each other. Ultimately, he's going to declare some sort of emergency. This is the emergency.
Yeah.
He's going to declare some sort of emergency that is going to, oh, no, we can't have any elections, because he knows that he's going to lose.
Yes. But the Republicans have ceded their authority, which in effect gives him the power to do whatever he wants to do.
Right. So that's why I said, okay, if there's no elections,
It's possible.
y'all will see. Y'all will see.
Hey, Mike, I'm on that team that says possible but not probable. But that's with a wink and a prayer. Because much like you, he's going in, I would not be shocked. I would not be surprised.
No, I wouldn't know. No.
If he did attempt that, what do you think would be the reaction of the governors?
I think a few are just going to say, forget you. I'm not doing that. Thing about mail-in votes and voting machines.
But yeah, if you notice they changed the terminology of that, it used to be absentee ballots.
Yeah, it used to be
absentee.
absentee.
It's a negative connotation.
They started moving towards that time. And I'm going to say this because when I thought of absentee voters, I thought of people who were out of the country, seniors who were unable to get to the polls.
Right.
And it was a specialized opportunity for people who couldn't otherwise get into the polls.
Correct.
And they did expand it to having basically everybody. And it makes sense because it makes it easy. You don't have to stand in line. And it makes sense. So I don't know what took so long to get to mail-in votes. Because why did you have to go into the rain or... Because weather oftentimes impacted polls, right?
Sure,
People are like, I'm not doing the voting.
Yeah.
And that's what the fascist wants.
That's
they
what he
want
wants.
to affect the voting.
Get back to that.
Any reason for you not to go,
yes,
that's what they'll do.
Right.
That's what he wants. He don't want to make it easy. The idea is to make it easy because everybody should be able to participate.
Right.
Thank you.
The conversation is that it's going to hurt the Republicans. Because that's how they vote. Majority of them, not majority of them, but a good portion of them vote by mail-in. So, so all the pundits are saying, is this going to hurt his party?
The last election time, their numbers are increasing. They're getting used to the notion because you get into the habit of doing things. Like me, I was used to going into the polls. I'd be one of the first ones there because I hated waiting. I'd do it before work. Yeah. When my mom was here, she got her ballot. Then I started getting my ballot, and I've been getting it ever since. I even thought about not getting the ballot. And I thought to myself, well, how much sense does that make? They're sending it here. I can take time. I can review everything. I can make a decision to having a guess on this candidate or that candidate. And it just makes sense. It gives people more time to make a decision that reflects how they really feel as opposed to trying to remember something. Yep, maybe you can. But so I think, mail-in may come across as negative, but to me, for all intents and purposes, that's a positive, really. Trump is making it. Mike, what do you call him?
Fascist in chief,
the fascist
chief felon in the United States.
Chief felon of the United States.
Right.
He's trying to make it a bad thing.
But you're saying that Democrats are increasing on their side.
I think the Republicans are starting to increase their numbers for mail-in participation.
Well, one of the things, if you look, many states have been trying to shut down polling places in or African-American areas, making you have to drive further. Go further to do absentee ballots, solve that problem.
Yes.
So, you take that away. Now they still got to drive 25 miles, 50 miles in the rain or the snow.
Or have to catch a bus if they don't have transportation.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and they make it darn near illegal to give somebody a ride to the polls. Oh, no, you can't go pick up people and take them to the polls. It is what it is. They're going to do everything they can to stay in power. Get that. And all is fair in love, war, and politics. I get that too. So I saw something, and I'm not going to go into it too much. We had this conversation some weeks ago on this show about the Democrats and what's their response. I read something maybe 7 or 8 days ago, and I saved it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It basically said, you got to take the gloves off. And that's what I was saying. We didn't take the glove.
Well,
that's what I was saying.
You and Keith were saying that.
Right.
And I was still not on that. Oh, I wasn't on board that train yet.
In order to get elected, the gloves off. Now, you can do what you want to do. You can take the high road, but you're not going to get elected today taking the high road.
Yeah. Good, bad, or indifference. Gavin Newsom is taking the gloves off.
Right.
You have to do it. You got to do it because that least common denominator is what fires people up to get to the polls. It's it, Keith. They're different. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So take the gloves off, get elected, and then come back and say, oh, we're going to do these good things.
Right.
You said, but you gotta attack the other side. When I say take the gloves off, you really gotta attack the other side. Leave nothing out. Nothing.
Hey, Gavin Newsom put something out where he put the numbers out, advising that in the case of California specifically, it's a state that has less crime, contributes more to the economy than any other state, maybe the fourth largest economy in the world.
Right.
Okay. And all of the things that they do, contra to what the Republicans are saying.
Right.
And so each blue state needs to enumerate the same thing and at least show that where, in the case of where he's trying to send troops into all of the cities with black mayors, they need to be able to show this neighbor next to me, whether it be Ohio or wherever, we have better numbers than them, but you want to send troops here, but you're not worried about sending troops to red states where the economy is worse, where the crime is worse, whatever. We need to be able to reflect that everything he's doing is smoke and mirrors.
Right.
And basically, a lot of what he's doing, if not all of it, is predicated on blatant racism.
Send some troops to churches and schools where these shootings are going on.
Yeah.
Why don't you send troops there and keep those safe? Since you're so worried about crime.
Wow.
And Tom, read that.
That's saying a lot, Mike.
It is.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I think it's a YouTube video that Mike sent. Basically, she talks about what Mike and I were trying to impart regarding how he profits from his candidacy, how it does impact people like you and I. It's just not him going out there being a savvy and astute businessman getting paid. It's on the backs of us, the United States. She lays it out in a way that Mike and I were able to lay it out to convince you. But I think once you see that YouTube video, you'll at least raise your eyebrows even if you don't get on board.
Moving to our Save the Children segment. As you guys know, I was trying to size myself up, going through the process of trying to figure out, I'll just maybe substitute teach. I had to go through a couple of hoops to get that to take place, right? So I did the background check, the fingerprinting, did a workshop, did some modules. So I'm part of a temp company called EduStaff. Then I had to become licensed by the state of Michigan once all that other stuff clears through. So 2 weeks ago, I got my permit from the state of Michigan to become a substitute teacher. So I was
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
So, getting a license is a big deal around here.
Yes, sir.
We all know that.
Yes, sir.
So I was having a conversation with Marsha, and I was telling her, I'm not into getting a long-term assignment. I just want to pop in, pop out. Main thing, I wanted to give back. I wanted for the youth, right? Impart my knowledge about things outside of what's inside of the book. I recently read an article that caught my attention. The number 2 cause of death of children 5 to 14 is drowning. And I was, blown away by that. And the number is greater in an African-American community.
For sure.
You know, the day I got my permit, the next day, my email box was blown up by all these opportunities to go teach. So they used 2 different apps. So I went on one of the apps, and there was an assignment there. And again, I was not thinking about long-term. I wasn't sure I wanted to do anything. I just knew my biggest thing was I didn't want to make it feel like a job, right? I don't want to be reporting at 7:25, 7:45 for some assignment. And so I went on the app, and there was an assignment there. And the assignment was for PE at an elementary school that's like less than 10 minutes from my house. And I was like, do I take this? So I went to talk to Marsha, and we were going back and forth about it for a few minutes. And I remember that article. And I said, you know what? And the assignment went through September 30th. I was like, oh, okay, that's testing the waters.
Right.
And so I clicked on it. Then once I jumped on it, comes to find out it's 2 schools.
Oh.
Really?
So, yeah, it's 2 elementary schools, one in Wayne and one in Westland.
Okay.
And my week is divided up by going to the Wayne school on Monday and part of the day on Friday.
Okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm at the Westland school. So that adds another 10 minutes. So I'm driving about 20 minutes to the further school and the beauty. The thing that I'm okay with in choosing the assignment, again, was it was PE, and they started at 8:50. So that, okay, I get to sleep in. I got to be up at the crack of dawn trying to make my way to a school to avoid all the traffic from the kids or parents. So I jumped on it. So I'm on it. So I get there. The principal is ecstatic to see me, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. And it was funny because he was like, okay, let me show you around. The first day was a half day, right? I had 3 classes come in, and I didn't have a lesson plan, and I still don't have a lesson plan. He was hoping to get a lesson plan from the head phys ed teacher within the district, and we still haven't got one yet. Somewhat prepared to do a few things. And basically what I did was I started off by doing exercises. I work on imagination by saying, okay, we're going to learn some swimming strokes. I try to show them the method of how to tread water just by doing muscle memory. Doing this constantly. I only get these kids for 50 minutes, it's a week. It's elementary school. I don't get them every day. So I did all that. Then once we finish all of those layers of jumping jacks, I say, okay, we're going to train for the Olympics. I get them going with rowing, using their imagination to do some rowing on the scooters. You guys saw me in that video on the scooter, right? So I got them doing scooters. I've got the kids doing hockey, and that's coordination, hand-eye coordination with using a puck, and I got the cones.
Oh, wow.
All right, so now imagine this. One, I got girls doing it. I've got kids that are African-American doing it. I've got young kids doing it. It's a challenge because nobody has any idea what to do with the stick.
Oh, my goodness.
And nobody has any idea about rowing. Sure don't know anything about a backstroke and a breaststroke. And so now I'm introducing them to that.
I think I would have paid for the video.
So I'm introducing them to that.
Okay.
So the U.S. Open is here now. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, in fact, I got tennis balls. Where are the tennis rackets at? I got baseball bats. I got a ton of basketballs, but I ain't seen no tennis rackets. So I reach out. I reach out to Mike. Mike said, yeah, I got some, but they got adult grips on them. They're not going to fit for a kid.
They fit those little hands.
And then he suggested I reach out to the local USTA. So I do. I reach out to them last week. We write back. And then they said, okay, this is a long weekend. We'll just have to get back with you next week. But then they hit me with something that says, okay, we have new rackets, no problem. She wasn't asking me directly. It was a rhetorical question. She said, we introduce them to tennis. We get them to go to the next step. How do we get them from not going from being introduced to tennis to going to play soccer? She was saying that she has to talk to her leadership about. So that's where we're at with that. I look at it as an opportunity to share something with kids who not have been exposed to some stuff. And I only have them for 50 minutes. I'm introducing them to other life skills and sharing and keeping your hands to yourself. I got to go through all of that.
How old are they?
Kindergarten. Kindergarten all the way to the 5th grade.
Okay.
Young folk. And I'm enjoying it. It was wearing me out because I'm sweaty by the end of the day. And
How many kids at one time?
It could be between 10 and 20 something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I immediately have them come in, and like I said, we do the jumping jacks. They spread out where they have enough room to do the jumping jacks. We go from there. And then I have them do relays, a bunch of relay stuff. I wear them out. And then I give them about anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes of playtime, depending on how they do in the course of me trying to give them a lesson.
Sounds like a lot of fun, though.
Oh, definitely. And then if you remember, the teacher used to get a prep hour. I'm got 2 prep hours in the course of the week where I'm not doing anything.
At actually time while you wait on a lesson plan, you've come up with lesson plans, and it's a matter of how you really want to organize them, because it sounds like you've done a lot in a little time.
Yeah.
And I know you only have, in theory, a month until the end of this month, but you can make an impact, I think, especially for the really little ones. Gym is really about fun. It's almost like organized chaos. They just really being physical and burning energy for that time. But if you can add some structure around that and introduce them to some new concepts like you do, I think that's pretty cool. So it sounds to me you're off to a good start and you are making a difference.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you play dodgeball?
I thought about that. I love dodgeball.
My favorite.
They want to play dodgeball. The 4th and 5th graders, I've got some meek students. I got a couple of guys light some people up, and I be with crying kids. I ain't trying to deal with no crying kids.
You can spread
That
them out,
sounds
though.
like a
You can
movie.
spread them out and lessen the blow. If it's a big gym, you spread them out far enough, they got to catch it. And if the meek ones don't catch it, they get it a little touch on their hand or something. You signal you out, go see to the next one.
Oh,
But
man.
there's kickball and so many different things you can do.
Right.
That's got to be
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. And they enjoy it. I give them a free time, and I pass out basketballs, I pass out jump ropes, and hula hoops, footballs, and soccer balls. And they entertain themselves for those last 10, 15 minutes. And But the thing is, I don't want to have to deal with bloody noses.
What do they call you?
Mr. Corley. Yeah. I was going, one teacher, it might have been the first teacher I had, she asked me, she said, what do you want him to call you? I said, what do you think I should do? And she said, Mr. Corley.
Yeah. Good, man. That's inspirational. I know one thing for sure. They don't know it, but they recognize it at the end. They got a good person leading them.
So that's my contribution to today's youth within the communities that I can serve. I never thought when I signed up for substitute teaching that phys ed would be one of the subjects.
But it's important today because all they do is sit up and
Oh, my God.
punch on a PlayStation or game. So
Yeah.
even in my sub, you used to see kids out all the time and you do nothing today.
Yeah.
Well, they not doing that. So
Literally today, Mike, coincidentally, so Tiff's office is in the front. And when it's nice like it was today, she'll open the door in the window. And I tell you, those kids were going all day. And she was like, well, them little rascals, why aren't they in school?
what, they get an extra day or something? We didn't get no extra days.
All right.
So they were having a ball over here today. And I said, you know what it is? It's because they're going back to school and they know they got to take advantage of every minute to have some fun. But for the most part, to your point, most of these little rascals, they like being on the computer and being inside.
Yeah.
So physical fitness is important.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I am glad I'm doing, that physical part, because they are not used to it. In fact, it was shocking. I came home the other day and I was asking Marsha, I said, what's your earlier memory of doing jump rope? Oh, she said, I had to be doing jump rope when I was in the first grade, fourth, fifth grade, that don't know how to do a jump rope.
Really?
And I was like, wow, what am I working with?
You talk about jump rope. Them little girls where I was growing up, they was double dutching.
Yeah.
They were fancy with it.
Yeah.
Quick answer to your question, Tom. How do you get the kids engaged
Yes.
beyond learning at school about tennis?
Oh, okay.
You keep them engaged. That's where the USTA comes in. And so that's how you keep them engaged in tennis beyond school, because you can only affect them while they're at school.
Sure.
Right.
So your answer to her is you're going to expose them to tennis every chance you get. But it's up to the child. If the child doesn't want to continue in tennis, no use of forcing them.
Right.
But those that want to continue, refer them to the youth programs available in your area. So that would be my answer to her as to how to keep them engaged. Number 2, tennis players, and this is on a physical tip, tennis players live an average of 9 or 10 years longer than any other sport, than any other participant in any other sport.
Oh, okay.
Longer than basketball, football, hockey, swimming, soccer, all those sports. None of them have reached the level of tennis where you're using so many muscles and have so much cardiovascular workout going on. Those that continue in tennis live an average of 9 or 10 years longer. So that's just what it is. Then you can look those stats up yourself, but it's the truth. So that's your retort to her.
Right.
Yeah, you want the kids to live longer, but the part about keeping them engaged, you'll keep them engaged if you have somewhere to refer them to.
Right.
You can affect them there.
Yes, exactly.
Within the school system.
Exactly.
If they want to continue, you'll refer them to whatever programs are available if you know about them. Up to her to make sure that you know about the youth programs, and it's up to the local USDA to provide those programs.
Right.
And another issue, Tom, based on how you started, and I know you can only do so much of your time, but the issue of getting kids engaged, interested in participating in swimming as it relates to the deaths of young children and how typically they end up meeting their demise. If more understood and didn't have a fear of the water, knew how to navigate through the water, swim that is, how many more lives could be saved? So how do you get the kids to become interested And then when they become interested, how do we get that sustained? Do we have more communication with the parents?
Right.
Do we offer, to Mike's point, do we offer opportunities outside of the class? Is there some type of partnership that you can come up with? Perhaps get free lessons or something of that sort for the kids. When they learn young, they have less fear. The older you get, the more you're aware of the potential for drowning and just being afraid. A lot of people are simply afraid of being in the water. When the kids are young, I know a lot of families, I don't know a lot of families personally, but what I see for other than African Americans is they start their kids off, especially if they have access to a pool, like right away. Babies are in the water with the little floaties on their arm, and it becomes more natural. They're not afraid, so it's easier for them to learn. So to that point, if you're on a mission of sorts, tennis is certainly one thing, and that's a good thing. To Mike's point, if you're living 9 years longer, then it's good for your health.
Right.
But I can't imagine that swimming isn't far behind, because that's also a really...
Yeah, I'm surprised that's a shot.
I can pull up the charts out there.
There's a lot of running back and forth. And like you said, all of the muscle groups that you use, just the flexibility. And you watch some of these tournaments, and it's incredible what they do on the tennis court. So it doesn't shock me. I'm not surprised. I know you have a passion for it, Mike. So I don't think you would provide us, even though we're in the barbershop here, I don't think you would provide us any.
We got to fact check.
We're fact checking. We'll fact check it, though.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate you.
Always good talking to you guys.
Yes.
Look forward to this.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll talk to you guys.
All right.
Take it easy.
All right.
Have a great
All
night.
right.
Likewise.
Be sure to hit the follow button to receive a notification when we upload a new episode. To learn more about today's topics, go to the show description. You can text us. Join us every week by becoming a subscriber on your favorite streaming service. If you enjoy our podcast, become a supporter. That's all the time we have this week. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with the What's Going On podcast.